suspended, I think, isn't like.
Are we live? Of course we're live. People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. I hope we're doing well and safe. Please do me a favor, if you haven't already, please make sure you're hitting the like button. If you're not following me on Twitch, make sure you're doing such, people. Can we get to 100 likes in this live stream? As I said in relation to Twitch, follow and make sure you're subscribing, because at 4 p.m. I'm going to be doing, playing Football Manager. On that topic, there's content across both platforms every day this week. Now, obviously, let's use our common sense. If there's Champions League football on Tuesday and Wednesday, the 5:45 kickoffs, I'm going to cover the ones at our discretion on Twitch, so you know where you need to go. For the 8 p.m. kickoffs, YouTube. So tomorrow, for instance, I think you got Chelsea, Malmo. Malmo's over there on Twitch. Follow me on Twitch, subscribe on Twitch, set your reminders, and check out the schedule. Then we're on YouTube for Atalanta. And then the next day, you've got Liverpool, Atletico Madrid at 8 p.m. And then obviously, just before that, you'd have, I think it's AC Milan Porto. I'm going to watch that game. So yeah, hope everyone's doing well and safe. Hope everyone's in good spirits. As usual, it's Monday. Let's attack this week aggressively and move that much closer to our goals, hopes, dreams, and aspirations and ambitions. And as I normally say, good morning to those of you like myself in England. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. So I hope everyone's well and safe. I hope everyone's in good spirits. Monday morning, you're seeing it's looking like Conte's moving ever closer to becoming a Spurs fan. Unai Emery looks like he could be going to Newcastle. Arsenal have just been winning games, and it's another month for undefeated. And obviously, we had a good result against Leicester. We saw Tottenham lose. Nuno lost the El Sacco ultimately, but at least it means Oli keeps his job. It's been a good weekend of football, people. So yeah, man, we'll have to see what's going on. We'll cover, So yeah, and as I said in yesterday's live stream, I want to go over the month of October, even though we only played 3 times, and just say my little ones and twos and bits and pieces. I actually forgot to go over Arteta's press conference, so we'll cover that. I actually haven't read it myself, so that's just me being a bit selfish, people. So yeah, get your opinions, comments, all of those sort of things in. Please make sure you're hitting the like button and are following across the socials. Nuno out. Who's next? To be fair with you, I don't know. You go back a couple of months, people might have said Mikel Arteta, but I don't know. I would say, surely there's got to be, the pressure still on on Oli, sorry. So it's still going to be there with Oli. Surely Dean Smith has to be thrown into that. Obviously, the current Newcastle boss is a caretaker guy in Jones, but it looks like Emery might be moving closer to that one. If it should be on merit and of what you're doing on a sporting pitch, then Daniel Farker doesn't have a leg to stand on and probably needs to get clipped. But his team have just retained faith in him, and he's talking bossy. He was quite honest. He was like, listen, the quality of the players isn't quite good enough. The people above him say you're staying. So despite the fact that Newcastle are making groundbreaking statistics every time they play for goal, their goal difference, their points tally, everything, it's really upsetting. It's a lack of competitiveness, really. So it really should be him. I don't think Bielsa will get sacked, but again, anyone that's in a relegation race, you never know. Again, it did look like there was pressure on Thomas Tuchel unnecessarily, but you never know. Again, no one's job is safe in the Premier League, really and truly, when you deep it, unless you're Mikel Arteta, really. So yeah, get your opinions and all of these things in, people. As usual, please make sure you're hitting the like button. I appreciate everybody that's locked in. Without you lot, there'd be no point. We're at 43 likes already, so we're off to a good start. What are you lot saying at the beginning of this? We're here. I appreciate that. DG Nation, happy Monday. Let's attack the week. You said it, and we're not just saying that for free. Let's really attack this week. Morning to all of you lot that are saying morning and tuned in. And as usual, listen, first things first, thank you very much for supporting this in the capacity that you lot do, because without that, there's serious problems. Like even last week, for the last October is probably the hardest month on YouTube in a while, because normally we grow in it. We hit a roadblock. We weren't really growing. I'm checking the statistics. I'm mind-boggling. Like, what's going on with this thing? Is it them dislikers? Is it what is it, people? Because it's literally showing that it's down, in it. It's really down. So it's not gonna be a nice Christmas for DG, really, but yeah, and the weekend did positively with going on Arsenal's official Twitch. We've been raided by Fabrizio Romano. We're having good numbers on the watch alongs. We've obviously finally getting over the line with 42,000 subscribers. So we really did hit a growth. If it was a footballing period, when a team's flying high through the season, and then there's that one period where they have had 5 games, it might be 3 defeats and 2 draws. That's how I felt with this YouTube thing. So I appreciate DG Nation for you lot support, because regardless, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you lot, man. But that's why you got to hit the like button and that. Of course, it's DG merch, my guy. Love to wear my own ish. Broccoli Gooner, appreciate you. FM streams are too lit. Make sure you're following on Twitch so you don't miss them. Tino, tell them again. Good morning to all my New Yorkers. Man said it's windy up here in Scotland. Turn your heating on. Hope you're having a good day. Come on, man. Of course I am. Appreciate that. And hopefully, it gets a bit warmer up there in Scotland, even though I know that's definitely easier said than done. Really and truly. Sacking Nuno doesn't make a difference. Spurs, are still poorly run and have a bunch of freeloaders of players. Not going to lie, Conte is a baller. Similar situation to, I think, Williams' injury last season versus Spurs forced him to play Smith Rowe. This is what you're getting at me. Morning, DG. Do you think Xhaka and Tierney's injuries have forced Mikel to not be too reliant on them in the build-up? I think it's helped the team structure. Lokonga and Nuno doing well for now. I mean, the way you've put it, I'd have to say yes, because they're not playing, so you have to try other ways, and maybe he's had to stumble on things by accident and things, but I wouldn't go too far yet, really. But again, the way you've put it, I have to agree, really. Didn't think the El Sacico would end up in one of them getting sacked. I mean, we just calling it for no reason. Sky Italy reports Conte deal is done, so it probably is done, and they're getting a serious manager. And one love to everybody who was on my Twitch stream where we do it in the mornings, and we spoke about Conte when the news broke out. Obviously, after this, again, can't even show you lot, but the work never stops, people. I've paused it at the moment. There's 6 minutes left. When this live stream is done, I'm waiting for a video to process. Then I'll upload it. I've cut up where I've specifically talked about Conte for you lot, so it'll get slapped there. And as you know, the Twitch rerun will get slapped there. Make sure you're taking in all this content again to catch it in real time. Twitch business, simple business. Conte joining Spurs is another top manager in the Prem. Spurs will have a good manager and director. Crazy. Hopefully we do our thing and Arteta continues. Well, it's mad, but I'm not scared of Spurs for the first couple of months because there's not much Conte can do. I am scared moving forward, if I'm honest, with Conte, because him and Patrici have worked before together. One thing I like about Conte, if you promise a man something and it's showing that you're not that, he will walk. And I hope that happens with Spurs. But think about it. If Spurs have tried to get you for time, and your brethren who works at a serious company, he's tried to get you before. You were his first target. Nuno was there last, which is probably shows you why he was. If your brethren tried to get you into a company, you said no, and he's trying again, you might say, you know what, all right, let me go. And for Conte, to work with your brethren, to have some sort of confidence that, all right, cool, we was at Juventus together. There's certain things I don't need to tell you. There's certain things you need to do. I feel a bit comfortable. It makes sense, really and truly. One thing I do think I'm going to see with Conte, first things first, some of these players you look at Spurs that look bog standard, that don't look like they're good enough, they're going to start uptaking in form. That's the first thing you're going to see. Second of all, defensive stability. Spurs struggle to score goals and they struggle to keep them at the back of the net. Now, if Harry Kane finds his goal-scoring boots, Son's form turns around, then, the goal burden is done, innit? But when them man are moving shaky and Spurs have an over-reliance on them anyways, I'm sure Conte wants to do the Martinez-Lukaku thing with them, defending first. If you can't score, don't concede. And they've scored 21 and conceded like 23 or something. If I could be wrong, that ratio is terrible. So I think defensive stability, you will see an uptake. Obviously, with respect to Nuno, you want to listen to Conte. Antonio Conte is Antonio Conte. He's been there, done it. So I do think there's that. And I think as woeful as Spurs are, how woeful can I say their season's been? Because they won the league in August, according to sentiment. They're 8th, The season is not done. Like as I said on Twitch, again, a new managerial bounce is probably the best thing you could do for Spurs at this moment in time. The season's not a write-off. Some of the players are not good enough, but then you look at the table, and I'm not trying to sing Spurs' praises, but you just look at the facts. They're 8th, 15 points. You know, West Ham are fourth with 20, bro. There's over 20, fourth with 20 points. There's over 20 games to play. So again, fix up. And as I keep saying, you know, the top three in Chelsea, Liverpool, and City, they're in their own world. And really, you could say the top four. Let's say the top three are in their own world because West Ham, I can't quite put you there yet. But they're on the same points as City. From 4th to 14th, there's nothing in it. And from 14th to 20th, there's nothing in it. And those of you that pre me all the time, you know I've said that before. So again, that's what scares me really and truly. But I'm not really, I wouldn't say I'm scared until they sign better caliber players. If they sign people to the standard like Romero, who I think is a really good find for Spurs and a really good sign. Anyone that prees, you know, Serie A, you know that was a good signing. That's where our problems will happen. But do you know what? It's a thing where, okay, cool. Like, you can't sit there and get scared of Conte and all of these things, people, because this is the reality of the Premier League now. Everyone's gonna sign good players, everyone's gonna have good managers. We'll get on to Emery in a sec, but he's apparently going Newcastle. I've told you before, I think the way football is going, it's gonna be an NBA thing in the Premier League. Everyone can win the league, qualify for Europe, everyone can get relegated. I genuinely think we're gonna see a world where someone's gonna get promoted from the Championship and win the league the same year. So back-to-back titles things. That's where we're going. So I can't be, you know, the very fact that, you know, Newcastle in their position are able to say, do you know what? We're paying a transfer fee. We want Emery. Or the fact that people can say what they want about Spurs. Conte's rejected them before. He's willing to go there, you know. It seemed like he was on going to United. Obviously, with Oli somewhat staying there now, it's something must have gone on, and it seems like this is one and done now for Conte. It looks like it's either, you know, Pochettino. There's question marks at PSG. It don't look like he's going to lose that job. Oli, it looks like he still retained faith. Nobody, where the Spurs board is concerned, thought Nuno was good enough. That's why, you know, they were probably deliberating in the immediate aftermath when the emotions were still raw, with losing to United. They probably sat there and said, you know what? Some man probably said, let's sack him. Other people said, are we being reactionary? They probably had a little sleep on it on Sunday and said, you know what? Boom, he's got to go, you know. I beg you go call Conte's agent. I beg you call this guy. I beg you call that guy. And this is where you're seeing all the names. Conte seems to be the guy and it's the biggest name they're being linked with. But couple Portuguese managers in Fonseca and who's the other one? The one at Porto have been linked. These are the sort of things. So it's time to keep it moving, really and truly. And for Arsenal, as long as we believe in our project, we keep doing what we're doing. We can't watch other people. Don't watch what other people have because you don't know how they got it. Obviously, we need to look at what people are doing, how we can improve what's around us. But Arsenal have a bag of problems. Before you can talk about what's going on over there down the lane, you know, if I look out my window, I can see the toilet seat of a stadium. It's a good toilet seat, I can't lie. What's going on with Chelsea? Arsenal need to focus on what they're doing, Carl. I'm going to get onto it in a sec. I don't want to repeat the same things, but you know, we've got a long way to go. I don't think we can afford to watch other people until I can sit here and say 10 games now. Boom. I know what I'm getting. The things that we praise these boys for, desire, passion, all these things. When I see them sort of things there, then I can start looking. But right now, we need to just apply what we're applying and move forward with that. So yeah, man, it looks good. I can't lie, you know. Again, I don't want to say Arteta and Edu haven't worked in tandem, Carl. You've seen it work. It seems like it's working with them signings. But for me, there's no contest in it. You're seeing them Juventus, man. And I know, you know, obviously, if the mood surrounding Arsenal was a bit more negative like it would have been, then there might have been people making a big song and dance. But there probably is some Arsenal fans sitting there and saying, yo, you know, them and they got Conte. Why couldn't we get in that shout and whatnot? For whatever it is, people. So it is what it is, man. You know, I think obviously for Arsenal, like every team, it shakes things up. If you're Oli, you're thinking, boy, you know, we've made an open race for this full spot. Conte coming in, I've got to fix up. If for Arsenal, you know, Spurs look like we could disregard them for a second. Nah, you got to fix up, G. So you've got Conte coming back into the mix. You know, you've got Conte back in the mix. You've got Pep there. You've got Tuchel there. You know, you've got Oli there, you've got Arteta there, you know, there's bare things going on. It's bare competitive, really and truly. And you got Rodgers, you can't really write off Leicester yet, regardless of what's going on, you know. You can't just assume Conte's just going to rock up and make things happen. But I do think between Conte and Perici, forgive me for mispronunciation, it's a match made in heaven. It really is a match made in heaven. That's the man wants. And for Daniel Levy, he's got to learn a lesson. You know, he seemed like he done the expensive thing with Jose. It cost a lot. You heard Nuno wasn't very high up their targets. There was it looks like there's about 7-8 names before him. So they got him out of, I wouldn't even say necessity. It's this or nothing. Learn your lesson. Don't just make things happen for the sake of it, because they probably could have clipped him really and truly. So it is what it is, people. What Conte, the Spurs means for Arsenal, let's call that. Obviously as well, people, you know, managerial merry-go-round is going on, because Unai Emery is set for Prem return, people. Set for Premier League return. I'm still here, folks. Keep the comments, engagements, and whatnot coming. Hit the like button if you haven't already. You know, it's getting quite hot in here, people. So the fan has to go up just another level. Set yourself on to rotate, make the whole room the same thing, because obviously you just blowing on me. Pause is making me freezing. Not quite ready to take off the jacket yet, but we keep going. A man said jacket, jumper thing. But anyways, people, apparently Unai Emery is set to return to the Premier League. Unai Emery favourite now to become the new manager of Newcastle. Sources telling Sport 1 Newcastle board pushing as they want to present the former Arsenal boss in the next international break. Newcastle keen to pay huge transfer fee to get Emery out of his Villarreal contract. Now, Emery's got to ask himself the question, does he want to come back to the Premier League? Because many people feel you was harshly done by when you was here. Does he want to come back? Obviously, maybe the attraction to manage Joe Willock just one more time couldn't be rejected, people. But you'll get bare money at Newcastle, you'll be part of a project, you know, probably a better salary. Again, it all depends, because I don't think he was treated nicely in the English media, especially with the you know, obviously there's banter and stuff, but I think when it came to the language stuff, I think Emery was mocked for no reason. And I think, especially where people are concerned in British speaking countries, you really underestimate how much of a life necessity being able to speak English can make a difference between your life economically. And I think you man needed to give credit to how Emery was trying from the jump, you know, with respect to Pochettino. Pochettino took a while before he started speaking English. Bielsa is there right now and he ain't speaking English. And I'm not saying they should or shouldn't, you know, and I can understand why they wouldn't, but I have to applaud Emery for that. So you have to worry about that. Obviously, Emery, you probably get more time at Villarreal, because Newcastle fans, they're going to be even more impatient. So again, he needs to ask himself about stability. You know, you got a good thing going for you at Villarreal. You won Europa League, you got stability, you're in your homeland. You know, for me, it seems like Emery's a bit better dealing with them sort of players who are not necessarily stars. I'm not saying they're not good players, but the egos. And I'm sure sooner rather than later, Newcastle will attract one star or not. So it's up to him to decide what he's doing in that regards, man. But you know, he probably wants to come back and haunt Arsenal and things. And it seems like it's getting lit in the Premier League. You know, I'm sure as a Man United fan, anyone that's here, you're all just sitting here wondering what going for us. How is Ollie still here? What's going on, people? So it is what it is in that regards. Keep your opinions coming, people. 191 in this chat. I appreciate everybody that's locked in. Big up King in the Windies. Like the game, like the stream. You asked when the next Football Manager live stream, 4 p.m. UK time. Adjust the clock and make sure you're all there. Appreciate you lot. What are you lot saying before we get into a couple of other things? I just want to see you lot again. I love to sit here and speak with you lot, man, but yeah, you lot need to get you what you're saying in, people. I want to see exactly what you're saying. Big up David Moyes. David Moyes is doing his thing. I can't lie. David Moyes is doing his thing. Newcastle are doing what they need to do. I can't lie. I'm starting to think Dean Smith is going to be the next gaffer to get sacked. It really should be the Norwich manager, but I can't see him getting sacked because they just keep gassing him up and saying he's doing the right things and all of this sort of stuff. Please hit the like button if you haven't, people. We've still only got 83 likes, you know, and that's despite the fact that there's 200 people watching. Unexpected high bills if you have not hit that like button, people. Patrizzi and Conte worked together at Juventus. This signing makes sense. Nuno should have never left Wolves, honestly. DG, do you have a favorite NBA team? The Bulls, man. Facts, at this point, the Premier League is basically the Super League. All the best managers and players want to come to the league. Premier League is clearly the strongest top to bottom, and it's not close. Come on. Top three, the rest of the league is so tight. Big up DG, your work rate is unmatched, but Conte to Spurs is not going to end well. Don't see him there for more than 18 months. Hope so. Don't get twisted. This could lead to Kane's form to improve. Probably. Big up DG. It's been a while. The half term, the kids killed me. Hey, man, Jay, the kids are a blessing, man. Big up to the kids, man. Hope they're doing well and hope you're getting a respite. Right, man. I wonder why Conte didn't sign up the first time Spurs went to him. You know, he didn't want to hear it. And now the options might not quite be there. They might have thrown a couple more zeros. They might have sold a better project. I don't know what's going on, really and truly. Big up the members and mods, 100%, 100%. Boy, it's crazy, man. Interesting comment. Next week, Arsenal to collab with DG permanently on Twitch. By God's grace, man. I think we're a bit early there, but be waiting. They know who I am now. The man they got my number. Call the guy up, man. DG, you are the most insightful and entertaining Arsenal content creator on YouTube. Big up. I appreciate that. I can't take that crown, man. But I appreciate that. I appreciate that. It's just down to me to keep doing stuff like that. We need likes at 100. We're still not there. How am I feeling? Feeling quite poor because we're still not at 100 likes. What's going on, people, man? All right. C might have done us dirty there. We're at 100. Let's push to 200. There's 218. Unexpected high bills due. What's going on here? Topic. Man's not even bothering to try, is he? Like, man, bro, you can see the title of the video. I'm to some boy. What is F Conte, F Spurs? Good way of putting it, but we have to talk about football. Man said Grealish tax is real. I can't lie, man. If we was to start talking about, and I should do a video on it because I tried to write things down. Signings of the seasons and underwhelming signings of the seasons. When I think of signings of the seasons off the top of my head, I think Townsend's got to be there. I think Damari Gray's got to be there. I think Cornet's got to be there. I think Ramsdale's got to be there. Probably Cristiano Ronaldo's got to be there. I think Romero will show that he, for the Spurs, will be there. But if we start to look at people ain't hitting the limelight, I don't want to do Jadon Sancho dirty, but Jadon's got to be there. Grealish has got to be there. Who else? There's a couple signings that ain't done too much. If I'm, jury's still out on Ben White, so I wouldn't quite say he's there, but I would throw him into that. Could say Odegaard as well, throw him into that. Samore, throw him into that as well. Bigged up at Leicester, throw him into that. I think that I wouldn't say sign of the season, but Dak has been good at Leicester as well. There's been couple players still that have done bits, man. Man said Lowski. DG, would you rank Gabriel as a top 10 centre back in the Prem? Yeah, 100%. I'm not gonna lie. I think someone else asked me this, and someone else asked me this, and it threw up one. Gabriel is a top 10. I even want to be shameless and say top 5, but there's some good centre backs. You got Rudiger at Chelsea. There's a couple at Chelsea, but I would say Rudiger's there. You can't say anything bad about Van Dijk, Rudiger, Van Dijk, Ruben Diaz, Laporte. There's a couple others as well, but I'd say he's in the top. If it's a top 10, he's in the 10, 100%, man. He'll be in the top 10. I'd say Joel Matip as well, just in terms of his name might not have clout, but when he plays, he does his thing. In terms of flops, you're right. Saul looks a bit dodgy, man. Really and truly. Top 5 is fair. I don't know if he'll get into the top 5. The top 5, he would for me, but I think he's definitely a top 10 centre back. And the fact that he's 23 without that top 5, he probably could. He's definitely up there for performing. Rudiger, if I didn't say it, Rudiger, Diaz, Matip, Laporte, Van Dijk. Yeah, them men are all probably ahead of him, but I'd have him ahead of I can't lie, I'm only taking Van Dijk over Gabriel, really, in my heart, really. I'd say Diaz, Van Dijk in my heart. Big fan of Rudiger. I'll take Gabriel over him, even though Rudiger's probably ahead. Matip the same. Laporte a bad boy, but the same. Gabriel bias really. Varane's 30 as well, but yeah, he ain't done much to really be thrown up in there. He's looked a bit of a shambles at this moment, like the rest of the United team. I can't lie. I don't think Christensen is better than Gabriel. Varane can get in the club, you're right, but I don't think Christensen's better than Gabriel. And I like Christensen. Deserves a new contract, but. Yeah, man, Gabriel's only 23. It speaks a lot in it in a day and age where people are paying an arm and a leg for centre backs, and us as well, because we spent 50 million on one. Gabriel shows one. I don't think Harry Maguire's as bad as man make out, but he's in terrible form, and Gabriel's better than him. Rudiger's a bad boy. He's a dark arts master. Gabriel's got it all. I mean, Rudiger's got it all. So it's a top 10 shout, innit? Would you shout? I wouldn't shout Ben White in top 10 though. I can't lie to you. So that's something else in itself. That makes sense. I'm taking Gabriel over Matip. Maybe I am as well, but I just think Matip don't. Maybe his name isn't sexy and the price tag weren't sexy. I don't think he's amazing, but I think many people, especially when you looked at Liverpool, you said, all right, cool, you need to get a certified partner for Van Dijk. And they went out and grabbed Canute, who is a good player in his own right. But I think Matip, at times, he's probably been the best performer. Like, I know a red card's changed it, but I look at the Liverpool game, Liverpool versus Chelsea. A lot of the billing was Van Dijk versus Lukaku. But I think it's Matip that's actually done the job there, man. Yeah, man. So really and truly, it's there. Ready to start being shameless and saying Saliba and all these things, but we're not there yet, man. He don't get the praise, man. His name's not sexy, and he's next to Van Dijk. Even sometimes when Van Dijk does some questionable stuff and nobody says anything, it's Van Dijk, so no one can. But yeah, man. DJ, have you seen the sentence for people that abuse people online now? No, what's all that about? What happened there? I must have missed that. Man said Ben White soon land. Rand's mad fraud even before he was in a United shirt. That's harsh. You got DG with Suleimana Khalidi, the Ren's brother. Yeah, 100%. DG, what do you think about Carragher stating that Smith Rowe is the best dribbler in the league? I personally rate St. Maximin way more than Kevin De Bruyne. I can't lie. I think he's extreme capping in it. Like extreme capping. He's not. It's big praise. You know, he's up there, but he's not the best in the league. You know, he's probably not even top 5. If he is, he bags 5th. If I really thought about it, you know, it all depends what you. I think there's a difference between ball carrying and dribbling. But if you was to not complicate it, I don't think he's a better dribbler than Kovacic. I don't think he's a better dribbler than Grealish. I don't think he's a better dribbler than Mahrez. I don't think he's a better dribbler than a couple of players. But credit to Smith Rowe. You know, it's down to him to keep doing what he's doing, and people are getting at him. People forced the Varane slander. I don't think people have been as great as Varane as people make. I think Varane has done some questionable stuff, but I discount a bit of it because of the defense. And it's no coincidence that, you know, he came back, he kept a clean sheet among everything. But I rate Smith Rowe highly than Jamie Carragher could ever rate him. Jamie Carragher could never rate Smith Rowe more than me and you lot. Man said, just finished a 16-hour shift and still found time to tune in. Half asleep, half awake. Hit the like button. I appreciate that, my guy. But go and get some sleep, man. If we don't get proper sleep, when you know we're gonna harm our health. So go and get some sleep, man. Even before he was in a United shirt, he was fraudy. Now, Varane's always been a good centre back. He's just one of them. When he gets ripped, he gets ripped. And I think you saw it for France. I've seen it a couple times for France and Real Madrid. You know, it is what it is, man. But nah, man, Varane 30. It's just unfortunate. It's not unfortunate. I don't support United, but he's part of a rub system in it. So it's going to be a bit like Koscielny at Arsenal, where rather than being praised for being a good centre back, you're going to praise Varane for being a firefighter, just trying to stop courageously, just trying to put out all them fires where you know you can't do it all in it. That system is collapsed. The whole system at United is collapsed, much less the defensive system. So it's peak for Varane. Like I don't until it looks patterned, there's not much he can do, man. Nah, man, I can't lie. To be fair, Varane has, if you go through his hot games, there are some questionable things he does, but fundamentally, he's a good player. Think Carragher took his own thoughts out of context. He meant to say ball carrier and speed/distance. He does so. I'd have to see what he's saying specifically. I don't know, man. Now, if United signed Varane and Ronaldo 10 years ago, things would be different. Well, yeah, obviously. You'd be signing Ronaldo in his 20s, obviously. Like, what? How old is Ronaldo now? I was about to say 33, but he's definitely maybe a year older than that. Obviously, with respect, no shit, Sherlock. Now, what? Yeah, obviously, if they signed him at 26, of course he would be. Conte will want the budget and clear out. Well, they're gonna have to bring it to Donny, innit? They're gonna have to give Conte that. You know, if you're gonna, he's probably gonna be on some big boy wages as well. You know, didn't they offer him 14 million? You can't piss about. If you're gonna, if you're gonna commit, you might as well commit properly, innit? Really? Do you think there is a future for Smith Rowe, Saka, Pepe, Guendouzi, Lacazette together in Arsenal's midfield? Not where Lacazette's concerned, not where Guendouzi's concerned. Pepe's is in the balance, but he's contracted until 2024 in it. So at least for now, he's gonna live to fight another day in it. So I'd have to say, yeah, really. Hit the like button if you haven't, people. Interesting comments. Me scroll up. I don't want to miss anyone. Top 5 strikers in the league. Yeah, Ronaldo's there by default, Big crisis when he went 4 games without scoring, but Ronaldo's there by default. Lukaku will show his class soon. I mean, Kane's there historically. Right now, probably not. Salah, I mean, he's not a striker, but he scores goals. You might as well just throw him in there. So it's a madness. That being said, Jaden isn't playing good either. Exactly, but you can't write off Jaden in my opinion, after 6 months. I enjoy the banter and stuff with Jaden Sancho and how touchy United fans get, but I don't think you lose your class in it. And I just think it was naive. Anyone that thought Jaden was going to come here, he's going to do the United thing straight from the first minute, he's going to get 10 goals, 10 assists, I think is very, 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 very naive. But fair play. Now, obviously, people keep your opinions and whatnot coming, but I haven't gone over Arteta's press conference, and I would like to really, because I haven't on a selfish one, I haven't seen it myself, people. So yeah, it's one of them ones really. Unai Emery's favourite to manage Newcastle, true. DG, who's your fave player in the Prem outside of Arsenal? Difficult one, man. There's bare man, Paul Pogba, Jadon Sancho, Marcus Rashford, Raheem Sterling, Mahrez, Ethan Pinnock, Antonio, Leon Bailey, Mo Salah, Van Dijk, Firmino, anyone's Kevin De Bruyne, Foden, Greenwood, the ballers, man. Like if you understand ball, which you do, the ballers, innit? The ballers. Bro, I expect Sancho to get there, but I mean, with respect, it's just man are just looking at Sancho because it's he's gone to Dortmund. Man are not watching Sancho, have not been watching Sancho because for me it was mad naive, innit? Like again, away from the Oli discount, you have to discount because it's a Mazza with Oli. The speed of the Prem. As I said, he's a 20, 21-year-old foreign player, more or less, because he ain't kicked a ball in the Premier League. He was always going to struggle initially with the intensity. There's probably, with respect, he's been at City, world-class establishment now. He's been at Dortmund, which, borders online religious support. But he's playing for Man United now. It's not Man United where they're winning the league, but Man United is still Man United. There's a lot to take on in terms of expectation on the field, which I'm sure he's been overruled by on occasion. Off the field, the scrutiny is different. Everything is different. There's a lot of adaptation to do. There's probably, I don't know whether they were playing at the Euros or not. There seems to be a bit of a little Euros hangover. And I just don't feel Jadon Sancho's IQ is fully there yet. Like he's a baller, but sometimes even at United, he's playing with his head down. When you need to pass, make sure you pass. When you need to shoot, make sure you shoot. These are the things you need to pattern up. And I think when people get past the euphoria of, he left and he's come back and he's doing his thing, I think people would have seen that personally. Do you think Arteta can win the Premier League? Anyways, in relation to Arteta's press conference, people, let's get into this, people, and share the screen with you guys and let's jump in this press conference thing. Scrolling all the way down on whether that performance was one of the best under him. I think you're underselling yourself, Arteta, because I've seen about at least 5 better performances than that. You've had at least a couple of times against Chelsea. Anytime we did bits in the FA Cup and a couple of quote unquote big wins. So let's have a bit of sensibility with the Leicester game. But he went on to say some phases probably yes, because of the opponents we had in front of us, because to come here is tough. I'm really pleased with the way we played, the character we showed right from the beginning, to be dominant and to impose the game we wanted to play. There were moments as well when we had to suffer. They came at us, they changed the formation, and they created some issues. You have to dig in. And there was some big individual performances to get through those moments. Ramsdale's 8 saves. But then we were able to manage to change the game and the momentum again and get control. And we could have scored the third one. So I'm really pleased. On Ramsdale's impact, we invest money in talent and people we believe can be great for the future of the club. We made that decision based on that. And Aaron has had some really encouraging performances. And today he had some incredible saves to maintain the clean sheet. And he needs to continue to do that. In football, you have to play 50 games for 20 years. And this is only the start, which is true. But I think he's justified that 30 million price tag in general, because you will make that back now. It's more so a damning verdict on where Arsenal are. But similar to when Tierney walked through the door, I'm looking at Ramsdale as a potential captain now, as undoubtedly one of the biggest characters. With respect to certain players that have left and not playing, and I know we're doing a bit more positive, But you just get the vibe that Ramsdale's a bit more serious than, man. He's showing a lot of things that I wanted to see from several players that have been here for time, really. And ironically, the fact that he got relegated, the fact that he was on loan at AFC Wimbledon, this is probably some of the things that are helping him make it here, because he's seen football isn't pretty. A lot of, he's not naive when it comes to game management. Why do you think 9 times out of 10, he looks like one of the only ones that wants to make sure we get a clean sheet? On what Ramsdale brings to the dressing room, he said, we know that he settled in well. We know he's got respect there. We know he's a good bunch, it's a good bunch of lads. So I'm not going to bother you lot. On whether it was a statement win, when you play against a team that is going to be up there, it is great when you are able to beat them. It's another game we are on a good run. We have to continue to do so because there are a lot of things we have to improve. On Tomiyasu's impact to the team, I'm delighted to have him. First of all, as a person, he is such a great character. He's doing all the right things, top professional. I think he's given us a lot of composure in the back line, the way he defends and understands the work that we want to do with him. So he's been top. His adaptation to be a defender in this country, the way he's done it, I think he deserves a lot of credit. When asked on Ramsdale being the number one, and I'm a bit disappointed with Arteta here, I think when you dream big, it's always positive. Keep your feet in the earth. There are people who make those decisions, but he needs to be doing what he's doing every day, training the way he trains, look after himself the way he does, have that mentality he has, and good performances, the rest will come. I'm not disappointed in what he said, but I would have liked a bit of pressure from our manager and said, yeah, he deserves it. Like, who is the better performing keeper in the Premier League right now? I love Ramsdale. There's going to be a lot of twists and turns. I think people need to be careful with all these world-class shouts and stuff. He's going to have moments. He's a good keeper. In terms of best performing, he's up there. What Mendy as well, as well. On another day, I want to see less of Ramsdale shining, if I'm honest with you, because you look at De Gea yesterday. Well, not yesterday, but you get the point. Fuck all to do, F all to do against Spurs. Ramsdale, we won 2-0 and we was in control for large periods. But if our keeper has to make 8 saves and he's man of the match, arguably, if not the outstanding man of the match, to play devil's advocate, are we closing the game in the most convincing way? Or is it, because that's where Arsenal, we'll get onto it because we're going to do the October review. That's where Arsenal need to move on, making things reflect the one-sidedness, not having these 20 minutes, 45 minutes, 5 minutes where you're under unnecessary cost. Now, a part of that is the Premier League, and I think people forget about that. You are going to have to withstand this sort of pressure, but it is what it is. On Kieran Tierney, he said he didn't train with the team yesterday. He's still not feeling good. He's still in pain, and he's not comfortable when he's running. He was struggling, so we're trying to help him as much as possible. We need him back. I don't know when that will be. So again, for me, when I start hearing man say things like that, all right, after the international break, then innit, you're not involved. You're not involved against Watford. Hopefully, you're involved against Liverpool. If you're not, it's peak, innit? Simple as that. But that's the press conference, people. One love to you lot. 304 people locked in. If you have not hit that like button, hit that. Unexpected high bills due for those who don't. 155 likes. We're almost there where 200 likes is concerned. Can Arsenal look across Europe to do Lacaz's current job? Ball retention is key in a team that doesn't allow their strikers to relax. I mean, if you're asking me if we can't find a striker that's able to hold on to the ball and use his strength, I can't lie. The bar is, I can't list a million targets, but the bar is low, really and truly. If we cannot go across Europe, scouting however many thousands of players and find that with respect to Lacazette, I think there's an issue if that's the thing. Don't forget to hit the like button on the channel. Also keeps Ramsdale grounded. Nah, you got to keep harmony. Got to give Leno hope. I mean, I didn't say not give him hope. I just think, all you got to say is the man's the best performing keeper. I think he deserves it. Leno obviously not playing isn't a thing, but, well, Leno Arteta's rid for you. I didn't appreciate BT every fucking 5 seconds panning to Leno. I think you're trying to create something. It's not. DG, do you rate Zidane as a manager, bro? How many Champions Leagues has he won, bro? He's the only man that's won enough Champions Leagues, and man say he's tactically naive and all of these sort of things. Of course I rated Dan, man. Ramsdale has the eagerness to learn as well, clearly analyzes his performances post-match. Again, exactly, because the very things we get onto Ramsdale about, when you're at Sheffield United and you're fighting to stay in the league, when you're on loan at AFC Wimbledon, there's no tomorrow's more time. You need to get 3 points now. So if man fuck about like what Arsenal have done in the way we typically drop 3 points or concede cheap goals, certain man get beat up in the training ground and in the changing rooms. At Arsenal, there's always this, there has historically always been this, well, there's a tomorrow sort of thing. So I do think the very things Ramsdale was arguably slandered about, they've helped him to make him that guy. He's got the grit, the nittiness to go with the fancy ball playing. You know, with respect to Leno, the biggest thing I like about Ramsdale is that for me, he knows his level. He knows what passes I can play, what passes I can't, when to do things. I like the fact of, at least where England's concerned, you know, he's a bit like a Sunday league keeper. He's your best friend before the game. You actually just want to beat him up during the game because he doesn't shut up. But you need your keeper to be that, you know. Leno had it, but you know, anyone who goes in goals is sickhead. So Ramsdale's got that. And I like it, man. I like how I want to see him stay a bit. It's not that he isn't focused. I want to see less of the. I like the rattling when they're going, yo, shit, but just focus on the game, big man, innit? The fans, I need you to get to that mentality where the fans aren't involved, you know. Too many times we're playing this game of football, but man's doing this WWE thing, getting the crowd up. I love it. Don't get it twisted. Sometimes you have to G them up. You have to get them up, but just focus on the game, bro. The fans are irrelevant. Not that they're irrelevant, but you shouldn't even be seeing them. That's just me, just on my soonest Pogba wave, really. There, but yeah, man. Our problem has been consistency. Do you think this has been short? We'll get onto it, but no. There's that word again, transmit. I was purposely trying to miss that, man. What else are you lot saying? I think that's the difference, though. If we win, people just say the other team was bad, but that's not the case this time. I think this is where people can't handle extremes, really and truly. It's like, that's where we go. When it was Spurs, when it was Villa, when it was obviously Leicester, none of these teams have, you know, they're not flying on. Spurs aren't flying as they was under Pochettino necessarily. You know, Leicester are quite struggling this season in terms of clean sheets and whatever. Villa are struggling this season. And when we played them, they had back-to-back defeats. Now, a lot of people said form goes out the window. They're bigged up pre-game. And then when we win, we sit there and focus on how poor the other team was, which is true. We have to consider that. But Arsenal can't be held accountable. We can only turn up and win. Whether Leicester were caught flat-footed and were sleeping, whether Villa made individual mistakes, whether Spurs system and Nuno this, it's irrelevant with us. We turned up, we got the result, and we were good in these games. Obviously, game management across the 90, coulda, woulda, shouldas is not facts, but there was moments where these games could have went against us. So we'll get onto it, but that's where we need to think of as well, man. Do you think Aubameyang can come runner-up to Mo Salah in the Golden Boot race? Yes, because he's done these things before. No, because we don't create enough. It's not sustainable what we're doing. Like, really, you know, it was a good bit of incisive play from us against Leicester, and we done it from a set piece. We've scored from 4 consecutive set pieces, but we're not creating enough chances for me to concede. We're going to be creating chances right now. What we're doing kind of appears unsustainable, if that's the right way of putting it. But that's just me personally. I genuinely just feel our output, I make this a timestamp, in front of goal, our output for goals, better yet, is unsustainable. I think it is. So there's a lot that needs to improve in terms of how we play in the final third and conversion and chances. And I think anyone who watches Arsenal, you can't disagree with me saying that because you're seeing it. Pretty much all wide players look mid under Oli. No consistency, much like the rest of the United squad. You see, if England don't win anything in the next 10 years with the players coming through, we're already tied, but there's no excuse. Bro, it's gone, man. It's gone. Because if you can't win stuff with Sol Campbell, Rio Ferdinand, Wayne Rooney, all these guys in their prime, because as much as I like Saka and Foden, there'll be a day all these guys are in their prime, but Saka, Foden, Smith Rowe, Greenwood, these man are young G's. Like, if you can't do nothing with these guys that are in their prime, it's a myth, man. He is an explosive player, Sancho, but he's not no road runner. He's not really a wing. It's more of an inside forward sort of thing. That's why he probably would. You ask Sancho, I'm pretty sure he says my best position's on the left, but United are stuck there and he probably needed. Ramsdale is driven to be England's number one. Arsenal will benefit from his personal goals for club and country. That appears evident in his intensity, mentality, and quality. I'm really worried about Partey going to the African Cup of Nations in January. I mean, I could be worried that it was going to happen. I'm not worried because it's a point where I'm over it mentally now. It's like if no one at this club conceded that, then it's a myth, man. It's clear Ramsdale has been in the trenches in this ball team. We need 4 or 5 men from the trenches in this team. It's true. I'm not trying to be harsh, but we do. We do. To be fair, can't lie. I think Ben White has as well, but he comes across as a bit of a privileged footballer. Ramsdale makes me smile so much. With Ramsdale is this form, I'd rather stick with him than Leno. Latter looks like he's on his way out anyways. I mean, there will come a sense of Ramsdale having tough things, but I wouldn't. I mean, he's in a real purple patch, but I wouldn't attribute it down to form really, because he just nothing is out of this world that I'm seeing from him. Like he's being a good keeper. It's a mad one, really. Is top four out of reach? Mathematically, it's not, but I don't know if the squad has the respect, has the ability to do that. A man said, "Why do you hate Ben White so much, brother? With respect, don't tell me what I hate, because I do not hate Ben White. All I've done is defend the man. What are you talking about? Where do you know how strong of a word hate is? How can I hate someone I don't know? How can I hate someone I actually like that signed for the club? How much videos have I released bringing up Ben White? Man said hate. Come on now, man. Pick your words right wisely. I can't lie. Lokonga as our DM in January is gonna be horrid. Listen, listen. I think Lokonga's a good player. Don't think BG hates him, oh bro. You say one thing that isn't sucking someone's ass, and you're a hater. This is the weird. Not saying him, but this is the weird thing about Arsenal fans. If you mention anything about Arteta now, if you mention anything about players need to improve, you're seen as negative. But if we get rubbed out, everyone would want to sit here and listen to things. We hate Tottenham, man. Well, David was one of the only ones that cared. We haven't hit 200 likes. DG is skeptical of him, but hate is just too extreme. Bro, it's not even a skeptical thing. It's like, I'm not someone that you're going to live or die. I'm not going to kill you for your price tag, in it. But 50 million, I haven't, like, for me, you should be doing what Gabriel's doing. You're both playing well, but who looks like the 50 million pound man? So I'm just saying there's more to come. And for me, I'm just looking at Ben White. I'm just waiting to go, wow, like he's a good centre back, but it's like, when's the wow moment? I don't really see the justification of the 50 mil. I see the partnership, I see his strengths, but I don't see the justification. Because for me, if we was bringing in a centre back, they had to be better at they can grow, but better at that moment in time than Gabriel. I wanted them to be a bit more of a defender. I don't think Ben White is necessarily Benjamin White, better yet, is necessarily the most switched on of centre halves, because these fouls that he gives away for Maddison, these fouls that he gave away against Spurs, potentially against Burnley, they're going to come back to bite us. And I'm only nitpicking because I'm speaking about Ben White. A couple of times he was, I think I said it. I think people were taking it over the top against Brentford. I think he had a good game against Kane. I think he had a good game against Burnley. I think he had a good game in his last few games. But I just don't see the £50 million yet. I don't see the IQ in relation to I don't think he's the most switched on of defender. I don't think he's a defender first. I think he's a footballer first, defender second. So I don't think he's as smart as I thought he was in terms of his defensive output, or better yet, ahead of the defensive output. He looks very much the modern day centre back. And for me, I'm not making this a Saliba thing, but I don't see. It's not that Ben White hasn't been good, or don't see why he didn't bought him, because I see why, but I don't see the justification of 50 million for a man that evidently at this moment in time doesn't take our defense up by himself to another level, as opposed to not giving another one a chance. That's why I am skeptical of Ben White. But for once again, I think he's doing all right. I think our back five is looking like it's found a unit. So I don't know how can I hate Ben White? Again, hate is a strong word. The only player I genuinely have hated, and I don't like to use the word hate for a man or a woman or whatever that I don't know, because hate is a strong word. I would say Gallas. Actual people who have kicked a ball for Arsenal or Shawcross, but I would say Gallas. Yeah, come on now, man. Fix up a bit, man. You know me. One of my pet peeves is when people say things. I tell me that I've said things that I haven't said, and paint me as something else. But by all means, if I said I hate Ben White, bro, talk to me about hating Ben White. But that never left my mouth. I'm just still waiting to be wowed by him. I still think he's very naive as a defender, if I'm honest with you. I wouldn't even say, bro, I don't hate Nasri. I hate Gallas. I genuinely hate you. I don't hate Nasri. Life is too short. I just have a real dislike for Gallas. Literally, real dislike for Gallas. Don't know you as a person. You might be the nicest guy, but I just hate you as a manager, as a player. Sorry, seeing you. how you carried yourself. Big up yourself, my guy, as well. I appreciate that. Appreciate the support, Marcus. No worries, man. No worries, no worries, man. No worries. Just has to be a disclaimer because certain people we see you say that, me not say anything about them. Like, let's see, he hates him. I wouldn't say Ben White doesn't love it. I think Ben White loves football. He just don't love it enough to go and watch it and be a manager after it and all these sort of things. And I would say with the rise of social media and the scrutiny, I actually like that footballers can switch off and things like that because I wouldn't. Our play is based on creating minimal chances, but very clear-cut chances. This is not sustainable. Saka should also be dropped for Martinelli. You had me until Saka should be dropped for Martinelli. I want Martinelli to get opportunities, but he ain't done enough, really. And he's definitely not gonna get in off that right-hand side. DG, you're getting a lot of fans here in Shanghai. Shout out to the Shanghai ones, man. Some deluded people saying Tavares is better than Tini. It's like when Marie was better than Gabriel. Calm it down. He's had 2 good games. I'm just them sort of Arsenal fans. They are different, man. They're different. That's the ones that were trying to tell man Xhaka is better than Vieira. You just move, man. People going on like DG needs to keep your opinions to himself. Analysis is not hate. Come on. If Calvin Phillips is costing an arm and a leg, man, that English tax is getting applied. I would do it. Yeah, probably a similar, just cheaper than I would say. What's his face, man? What's the other one? Declan Rice. DG, as well as Ramsdale's been, don't you think Leno has been unfairly outside the team as the first 3 games we played 2 were basically write-offs and we didn't have our proper back 4 yet? Oh yeah, of course. He's been done dirty in that regards. Ramsdale, I mean Leno, he's been done dirty. As I said, when he got dropped against City and we got rubbed out, we lost 5-0. I can't really sit there and say, well, if you've conceded 5 goals, anyone can get dropped anytime or whatever the scoreline was in it, whether it was 3 or 5, I can't even remember. But I did think he was done dirty, naturally, of course, Leno, if he got to be part of the back 5, we might not even know about Ramsdale at this moment in time. But at the time, I'm happy that it's happened right now, innit? Because Leno, he didn't want to be here. Yeah, you can remain professional and whatnot, but he didn't want to be here. Ramsdale does. And now we know why the 30 million spent. I didn't want a repeat of this. And there is no cup action like that, but I didn't want a repeat of this, of the, the Leno check stuff or what you've seen with United with De Gea and Henderson or Chelsea with Czech and what's his face, man? Peter Cech and Courtois. I'm sure even Cech when he signed here, yeah, it was him and Leno. It's boring. So yeah, it has. But Ramsdale's here for the long term. He's shown why, innit? That's all Ramsdale could. When your opportunity happens, get it. Leno must have known the chance was coming. Philip, with respect, no clue what you're saying there, man. Even if you don't watch football games, doesn't mean you don't study a player you're coming up against. There's a difference in watching football. Exactly. And I do think Ben White does the analysis thing, but I don't think he does anything else. Like, I don't think he's going to watch football. Pepe's created, Saka, apologies, has created the most chances in the Arsenal team this season. Stop with these. Martinelli should get a game. He hasn't done anything. You need to be given a run, but you know what? Saka, you want to take Saka off the right wing, slap Martinelli there. For what reason? Like, come on now. Pepe is going to, at this current in time, even though Pepe don't deserve to be near the first team, Pepe should be in the line, in the line for an opportunity before Martinelli. Martinelli didn't take the minimal chances he's got. And I know it's harsh and it's difficult. Where are you on Pepe now? Where I was, I do think people are scapegoating the man. I do think people are taking things over the top with him. If I'm completely honest, sometimes it feels like it's just cool to slate the man because it doesn't feel. I respect everyone's opinions, but it doesn't feel that you've used your eyes. You're doing this agenda thing. Of course, incredibly frustrating with a football. Like Martinelli did not grab his opportunity against Leeds, losing the ball too much. I think Pepe will have his chance. Pepe's been one of our best performers in an Arsenal shirt at times, and his numbers are still all right. For me, Pepe's a squad player, nothing more. Yeah, your end product can improve and them things there, but I don't think he's ever going to become Arsenal's talisman. At best, squad player, do where it is beyond that. If you can sell and recoup some sort of the value, why not? But I wouldn't be forcing him out the door like some of the shouts. It's a squad player thing, nothing more beyond that. We're at where we're at. We know the price tag was mad. We know that we should have never been in that situation. It's an L in it. You just have to firm it. It's simple as that. just try to turn it into a W. Bit like Lacazette. We didn't get the Lacazette we thought we was getting for 52 mil, but we still got a tune out of him, and he's still a half decent player. Which again, we have to sit down and say, why is these fees being spent? We spent over 100 million on Pepe and Lacazette. We've got and between them, how much goals have they got really for all the the manager this and the system that and all these things that are not their fault? Do you get it? So it's more for those above board when we do shell out these fees, regardless of if 70's up front or we're giving you a 10, a 10, a 10, a £2, and 20 years from now we'll pay that off. We need to review that, but that's where I'm at with Pepe. Nothing more, definitely nothing less. I think Martinelli will get his chance, but he needs to hold it, man. I mean, Martinelli has a very high ceiling. You can have as high a ceiling as you want. Doesn't mean you need to be in the team. Callum Hudson-Odoi, out of all them Cobham youngsters, probably has the highest ceiling, probably has a higher ceiling than Mount. He's probably had the least crack of first team football. Why? Because he's not been doing the job. Reece James has, to a degree. Mount has. There's probably a couple. Trevor Chalobah this season's got an opportunity, bro. Potential is just potential. I do think Arteta can give Martinelli more time, but Carman's got a high ceiling. What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? Like, it's what you're doing today, bro. Man, they're not trying to waffle. Martial's got beer, probably that, bro. Who can talk to Martial in terms of potential out of all them United young G's? Probably Greenwood. But Rashford, all them man, they're ahead of Martial, so it doesn't matter about that. Like, come on now, man. I respect opinions, but let's be sensible a bit, man. Pepe needs to work on a lot of things, man. We ain't right now. The squad's working in it, and it's good problems to have. I don't think anybody's grabbed the first team spot in this first team, apart from like a Ramsdale or Gab. Everybody's done well, but I think Gabriel cannot be dropped. Ramsdale cannot be dropped. Saka's been playing all right, but I wouldn't be against Pepe coming in. Smith Rowe's just below that level, I'd say, so he can't be dropped. Again, there's nobody's really hanging on to their shirts as much as I like Tomiyasu. If there was another right back whose levels. Not that he's been playing bad. Potentially, there's opportunities there. Martial's a good player, man. Very good player. But problem with Arsenal fans, we live in extremes, man. Mad extremes. Hit the like button if you haven't, people. 200 likes. One love to you if you've hit the like button. There's over 142 of you locked in who have not hit that like button. So please make sure you hit that. Unexpected high bills for those of you who haven't. Sorry. If you have, hope you win the lottery. Arsenal to not sign a centre mid in Jan unless you hit that damn like button. So you know what you need to do, folks. You know what you need to do. Appreciative of you lot. Soon we'll be able to say we underpaid for Gabriel. Well, I think we have already. We've underpaid for Gabriel, bro. 27, 28 million. Did already. And obviously Tavares cost 6 million. He'll do his thing, man. You can't say Pepe is lazy because he probably tracks the most out of both our wingers. He's better defensively than Saka, for instance. Bro, Rafinha should be locked up. There was no need to do that to anyone. But I think Lacazette's going to lose his spot for the Watford game. But until he has an average performance, yeah, man. I think he's gonna. I personally think he'll bring Odegaard in and go for one up front. I don't think Lacazette. Lacazette was a bit woeful in the second half. I think that's where it's gonna happen, really. Winning curses cures all. Sorry, don't want to overlook Watford, but we get past them and we see our true progress versus Liverpool. The squad slowly coming together. For me personally, I think we'll see. I hear you, but I think January will be even if we beat Liverpool 5-0, it won't change much for me. I need to see where we're at in January because as much as we can play well, I know Arsenal's biggest enemies are ourselves. That's why, to a degree, it doesn't matter if United are making this top four shout open. It's how we're able to pick up points now. Continuing where we was in September, we've been picking up points. October's been, unbeaten. It's been wavy, but do you get it? I'm sure you do. And with that being said, we might as well quickly have our little October review, people, or my little October review. Now, obviously, October's been brilliant to us. Undefeated, keeping clean sheets, bro. Scoring from set pieces, scoring consistently from set pieces. Actually looks like there's a plan for the set pieces with the way we surround the goalkeepers, the way we use decoy runners like you see for Ben White's goal. Ben White's made the first run. He's kind of blocked people from marking Gabriel. Gabriel's been able to get a free run, full elevation. Dunk on Vardy really and truly and put us ahead. So I'm liking what we're doing. Obviously, I'm liking the togetherness. It's better to be sitting here with you lot talking about Arsenal winning than losing. I do think fans need to keep a bit of perspective. Arsenal will not win every game. We will drop points. We will have bumps and bruises. We will concede cheap goals. I'm not saying we should be condoning them or not working on them, but I do think fans don't keep balance. And I think because Arsenal have been starved of playing consistently, winning games, fans don't keep perspective. I think we do need to. There's still a lot of things we need to work on. If I scroll all the way down to, what I would say what are improvements that we need to make. Game management. I don't think we've looked good from minute 0 to 90. There's been games where the other team's dominating and we don't look like we're going to concede, but we'll weather the storm. There's been a couple of times we just haven't been on it. So game management's got to improve. We've got to score more goals, in my opinion. And I'm saying that we've got 7 goals. I'm sure this month. I'm out of 3 games. I'm being a bit harsh, but we need to score more goals. I think we need more consistency in all aspects of the word. Better game management from the gaffer in terms of the subs, what he does, the role, changing people's roles in games. But I think the players, especially someone like Saka, we're 1-0 up. Our backs are against the wall. We've won a free kick 2 minutes before the end of half time to the end of the first half, and you're taking it quickly and running forward and losing it, and the opposition's having a chance. These are the things that the older players need to say, what are you doing? Just take this thing out of games. And you see that, even the way West Ham managed the game against Villa yesterday, even at 4-1, these are little things that we need to incorporate because we're gonna, it's not sustainable. We have been conceding goals, so we get some clean sheets in general where this team's concerned. But you know what? I'm sure that's at least 2 clean sheets from the 3 games. We've only played Leeds, Leicester, and there's definitely another game there. Let me scroll all the way up. But yeah, man, that's the things I would say we need to improve. What have we got? Exactly, people. We've played 3 games. We scored 3 against Villa, you know, 2 against Leicester. That's 5 Premier League goals, 1 clean sheet, 1 conceded, and the 2-0 win against Leeds. So all you can do is play what's in front of you. The challenge this week with the challenge this month was obviously just to keep playing, keep playing what we're doing, just continue the good form, just try and get some points on the tally, just try and chase what we did what we unfortunately are chasing from the start of the season, really and truly. So if I skip all the way down, man said November, we'll get into that. But yeah, if you don't know, if you were somewhere else in this world, Leicester, we beat Leicester 2-0. We obviously beat Leeds 2-0, the same scoreline, and we won 3-1 against Crystal Palace. So what can I say, really and truly? And I'm missing out one, actually. We won 3-1 against Aston Villa. We drew 2-2 against Crystal Palace. So there was bare games. I'm living in dreamland. So we scored more than 7 goals, people. So yeah, when you look at it, completely, I don't know why, but for some reason, I was just living off 3 games for some reason. But yeah, you can see October looks great in it. 2-0 against Leicester. Give us credit where due. We kept a clean sheet. Yeah, Leicester might have been poor, but Arteta tactically outdone them. We had a game plan. We scored 2 early goals. We saw it through to the end. We came, we saw, we conquered. Bielsa, yeah, rotation. Their priorities is with the Premier League, but it's cup action. Go out there and do the job. Players were rotated in and they did what they needed to do. So that tells me there's togetherness in the squad. And again, no player is happy about not playing. In January, there'll probably be a couple of situations resolved. But I have liked the professionalism I am seeing from the players that are barely involved when they're coming in and how they're carrying themselves. Very good game against Aston Villa. Aston Villa and Leicester kind of tried to do the same system, and Arteta won those games really and truly. I do think better game management is required because against Aston Villa, the minute Lacazette comes off, the man that's marking Douglas Luiz, we conceded a cheap goal really and truly. And even that, Tavares has stepped up on occasion this season, as well. Partey's done well this year. Against Crystal Palace, again, we conceded cheap goals in it. We save face, we draw, but there were cheap goals. And ultimately, we dropped 2 points because we had the lead. Now, the way we got something out of the game, we drew 2-2, Lacazette emotion and stuff, but we dropped points. We can't afford to do that, especially when you're leading. Brighton, bad day at the office. We're second best. We're lucky they couldn't finish. Now, A draw against Brighton isn't the worst, but again, that's more of a case. These first 2 games in October is more of a case of, yeah, we didn't lose. We can save face. We can't win all the time. A point away at Brighton isn't the worst, but it's how we turn up. It's what we need to be accountable for. Brighton, again, if they finished that game better, we might not have got anything. So I don't think I think the worst game of this month was Brighton. I don't think we played well enough for me anyways. And I think we was tactically outdone as well as the players just not being good enough. The midfield got eaten alive. I saw a bit of a laxed approach against Crystal Palace. We assume that because we've turned our form around, we've achieved something, we've done something now, if that makes sense, people. And that's what helped. That's what helped them to get in the game. And considering they had no Zaha and a couple of others, we didn't make that count. The same goes with Brighton. They missed a couple. So yeah, we dropped points. And again, all of these things are going to add up, people. All of these are going to add up come May. So I'm happy that we was towards the end of this month, we finished kind of strong because again, you've dropped 2 points. You've dropped 2 points. That's 4 points already written off, of this month to go with whatever points we've dropped in previous months so far this season. You add them up. You add in, the four points to go with the 6 that you might have got if you turned up against Chelsea or Brentford, or 9 against City. Now, I'm not saying you're going to win these games. I'm just trying to paint a picture in that we're going to drop points. Other teams are going to drop points. So we need to minimize that if we want Europe. And this is why I'm saying with everything that's in regards, you can't get excited with Arsenal yet. We've seen the good, bad, and the ugly like we have at this point, The bad of this month for me was Brighton. The ugly as well / bad was Crystal Palace. The good was obviously, what we went on to do. So it's like we learned our lessons from there. We had a good game against Villa. They were poor, nothing to do with us. Beat Leeds, beat Villa, beat Leicester, did what we needed to do, people. Again, so the month has ended positively. So that's how many goals have we ended up with? That's 2, 4, 2, 4, 7. Wait, are we actually on 7? Yeah, 7 goals, 9 goals. Yeah, we scored 9 goals in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 goals in 5 games. So am I being a bit harsh saying you need to score? I don't think I am, because I think anyone that's been seeing Arsenal can see we need to score goals. In these 9 games, how many clean sheets did we keep in all comps? 1, 2, 3 in it. So again, needs to do a lot more. How many cheap goals would you say we conceded? The 2 goals we conceded against Palace were very avoidable. The goal we conceded against Villa, very avoidable. 3 goals that really could have been avoided. So we've scored some goals. We've kept some clean sheets. We've done what we've carried on our form from the last month. We've kept ticking over. We keep the positivity, but we haven't achieved anything yet. Like Arteta said, we've just won a couple of games. We haven't achieved nothing. So I like the fact that the sentiment and the mood is good. But again, it's how we play at our worst. Right now, everybody's fit. If certain players get injured, I need to know people can step up. When we've got a full fit side, when we're playing once a week, we've shown we can do this. We've shown we can beat Leicester on occasion. We've shown we can win big games on occasion. So while I like the building blocks, we've got a long way to go. For me, as I was saying before, apologies for messing up the info at the start, people. The cheap goals, the game management. When you smell blood, kill teams as well. These are the things that need to improve. We need more togetherness. We need more goals. We need more players to step up and score those goals. Positive as well. We've been doing what we could from set pieces. I am liking that. We're doing what we need to do. There's more togetherness. There's clarity over roles, whether they're first teamers or squad. The formations seem to be working a bit, and there's more consistency. Now, I don't know if Arteta, it sounds a bit rude and a bit harsh to say, but I don't know if he's stumbling across on these formations or he's trying to, because against Palace, we went with one striker. Aubameyang's pressing alone. We switched to the 4-4-2. Similar to when Smith Rowe initially came in this team a year ago. I don't know if these are accidents because you're forced to do it out of necessity, or if you genuinely want to do it. But so far, so good. And actually, for Arteta, the question marks are still out. But I like the fact that you've kept tinkering to a minimum. When you've tinkered, you've done it in the right way. More clarity over the roles and your systems. The fans are actually seeing kind of this, what we want to see, a bit of exciting football, something to just believe in. Seeing a bit of, again, every month you do it, I'm going to praise you. Playing the same back five, keeping the good players in the team. Not really messing around with people. I know, I can't remember the game, but you took Saka off the right wing. It didn't really work, but keeping people in the right roles. I do think he's been stroking the right egos off the field to the point where he's breading. So I can't complain, my challenge to the boys is October's gone now, isn't it? November, you start again. Have that same hunger you lot had to turn your form around, because we're going to get injuries. The games are piling up now. There's some very difficult games to come, which we'll get into soon, people. And again, there's going to be injuries. As I keep saying, it doesn't matter where we are in the table. The table's going to keep fluctuating. All we need to do is worry about from now till January the 1st that we're still in and amongst the shouts with realistically finishing in Europe, because that's all that matters, is where you finish and where you end. Now, we had a poor start, in August, where it is what it is, isn't it? Go and work towards a positive finish in May. From now until January, from January until March, from March until April, from April until May. These are the furlongs. The league is the marathon, and it kills me the amount of narratives being written, not just about my club, but every club, day to day, week to week. So again, it's funny. It really is funny. So again, we've got a lot to work on, man. So yeah, that's my opinions on Arteta. End of the month thoughts. I think I've said them. Player of the month, I would say first choice for me personally, I'd say Ramsdale. Second choice would be Gabriel. Third would be Emil Smith Rowe. I tried to do underrated player of the month, but I don't think there is one. So byproduct, I'll give it to Tavares, because for me personally, I think Partey / Eddie Nketiah. I think Partey's had a good reaction to the first couple of games of this month against Palace and Brighton, and I think Eddie's shown that while he might not be amazing, but there needs to be a bit more balance. Maybe Ben White as well. I threw him in there as well. I tried to find some controversial opinions of mine for this month as well, but in terms of need to see more from Saka, you set yourself good examples, high standard. You're playing well, but I need to see some goals and assists, and you're not always taking your chances well. Pepe, I need to see more. I need to see more from Odegaard. I need to see more from this is all in relation to the minutes I've seen from you and the minutes you can get. But I need to see more from Saka / Pepe, Odegaard, Tierney, Martinelli. And I think this is the good thing, because there's pressure for places now. I'm expecting more, because I know a lot of you have got more. Pardon me. Where's my unpopular opinions of the month that I feel? My unpopular opinions of the month, people, don't shoot the messenger. We have not achieved nothing. We are complacent with thinking everything is good. And this is because I haven't learned anything about Arsenal. And I'm only saying this with no malice. I know you lot can win games. I know you lot can turn it on. I know on occasion you lot can do your thing. You showed me this last year. I will learn when you finish January or we start January and I see these same things. I need to know you lot can do this for 5 to 10 games, not games on occasion, because this month, the mood was very, the pitchforks were coming back out for Arteta after the Palace and Brighton game, man. Them journalists were writing that it can't persist with the way he's playing football. Arsenal might have something to say. And I don't even think our football since then has been amazing. But, it's funny what a Smith Rowe body feint can do for the masses, really. So I don't think we've achieved anything. I think that's harsh, but you get what I mean. I think we've got a good platform now to build upon. I think we're in a good health. I think, we've earned the right. I think hopefully the mentality's changed. There's a bit more grit and determination. But if you think you've achieved anything, you've done anything, you're sadly mistaken. And if you don't take heed of that yourself, the Premier League will make you learn them harsh lessons, because now everybody wants to burst Arsenal's bubble. Everyone still believes, regardless, that Arsenal is a given 3 points. So do not think you've achieved anything. And I actually feel going into the Palace game, there was a bit of this. So hopefully that's not that. At times it feels like I'm liking that we're tweaking the system and the personnel, but at times I don't actually know if Arteta is doing this because he wants to do it. Ultimately, he's doing it, but I don't know if he's doing. I guess he's being harsh, but is he doing these things by not accident, but is he stumbling across these things, or is he genuinely trying to do certain things tactically in terms of balance? I don't know. And I would say as well, I love Tomiyasu, but the jury's still out. I think he's very meaty on the ball, and I think he's going to get found out to a slight degree. As much as I love him, I think he's been amazing. I'm not criticizing him. And again, he had a good game going forward against Leicester. I think he needs to improve that. And I think the same way teams know that we're very left-hand centric, so they'll lock down their right-hand side, they're going to know that obviously Tomiyasu doesn't just stand there. But this whole Tomiyasu becoming narrow, teams are going to overcompensate and go down that left-hand side, just like Leicester in the first half with Harvey Barnes. So I do think Tomiyasu, the jury's still out. I want to see a bit more from Lokonga as well. I think Lokonga needs a bit of time to adjust to the Premier League. I think he's still a bit raw, but he's not going to get that because we need that, but it's good for them. I think Tavares has put up a good problem for Tierney. For me, if Tierney's fit, Tierney plays. Definitely where Liverpool's concerned, but, Tierney weren't having the best of seasons off his own back, and Tavares has got there on merit, and I want to see a competition there. May the best left back sort of win sort of thing. So that would be how I feel in relation to October, people. Really long way to go, but there's a good platform. But we ain't achieved anything. You ain't done nothing. the league's not done yet. It's a good sentiment, but it's not done yet, really and truly. And then obviously that brings me on to my next little bit, people, of our next 6 or so games. And this is why we can't think we've achieved anything. We can't think we're at a level we're not, because again, I've seen us do this after the FA Cup win. We thought we could do bits and reverted back to type. Shout out to Arsenal's women as well for sealing a place in the FA Cup final. But you look at it, you can't write off Watford. They're fighting relegation. They've got a new manager in Ranieri. You can't write them off. We need to win, obviously, to start the month well. But obviously as well, I'm not disrespecting Watford, but that's a free hit. I still want a level of performance against Liverpool at Anfield. Look at what Brighton did. I want that sort of thing. If Liverpool win, I just want to slip back and say, all right, cool. If Liverpool win, you know why? Because Salah was a madness. This guy was mad. That guy was mad. Don't just give them the points. Don't defeat yourselves, sort of thing, like we normally do. And then we fans sit there and find positives. Oh, we only lost 5-0. We didn't lose 6-0. What's all that about? But big test, Anfield. You've done all right away from home this month. Anfield, Liverpool, Anfield, Mo Salah, all them things there. These defenders, this young defense, everyone's going to be relishing you. Salah's going to look and say, yo, man, I forget closer to 20 league goals. I've already on 10 last time I checked. But yeah, you've got, Unai Emery could be their manager soon, but you've got Newcastle. And again, you're playing 2 teams fighting relegation. You should be, out of the 3 games we can see, that should be minimum 6 points. You do what you need to do against Watford and Newcastle. Liverpool, you pray for the best. You hope you hope and pray for the best. You accept whatever happens past that. But that should be 6 points if you're serious, And that's our month. I don't know if there's cup action to come into it, but again, continue the form of October. Head into, deal with what you need to deal with in November. Don't make these games harder than it needs to be as well, because we are only playing once a week. And then you've got to head into November. November isn't pretty. And this is why I said when we was talking about the review of October, for me, I just care about making it to January. It all might as well be 1 month for me. There's no November, October, December. It's all one period. December period. I mean, Christmas sort of period. November's peak. December is worse, bro. Regardless what you say about Man United, Ollie's keeping the job. He might even be gone by then. Old Trafford, we ain't won there too many times. We won there last year. Can you get something? I'm sure Ronaldo's gonna have something to say. Disgraceful performance at Goodison Park last year. You lost that game from set pieces. You lost that game from the start. I remember Yerry Mina and Michael Keane being playmakers. I have PTSD from that. Go and put in a performance. Southampton, home or away, they're a bogey team to us. You've got informed team West Ham. You've got to respect West Ham's team. They're a top 4 team right now. You've got to take them for that and accept them. So that's going to be a big game. You've got Leeds in the league, going to be a different affair. I want to effing batter Sunderland because of that manager's comments, Lee Johnson. You're only a manager because your dad works in football. I'm not going to keep reading it to you, but you can see it in it. December, mad thing. Games coming thick and fast. January the 1st, Man City. So again, apply yourselves. We're not going to win every game from now till December. We're going to drop points. You can't really write off any team. When I look at November, again, anything less than 6 points is a failure, but you never know what's going to happen. Such is life. We could lose to Watford, beat Liverpool, and then beat Newcastle. Or we could lose 2 of them 3 games, or we could have 3 draws or 2 draws and a win. All I would say is you need 6 points in it. I'll be prepared to accept the fact that you're able to beat Watford and Newcastle. All right, cool. I want to see us do a thing against Liverpool, but you have to respect the opposition. There's a golfing class, really, and you can't expect us to do too much bits there. Hit the like button if you haven't hit that already. Make sure you're following on Twitch. I'm playing Football Manager later tomorrow, 8 p.m. Tomorrow as well, 8 p.m. We're going to be here on YouTube, Atalanta Man United. So make sure you've set your reminders for that. The next day, Liverpool Atletico. The 5:45 games on both days. I'm going to be on Twitch. So make sure you're following and setting your reminders and all those things there on Twitch, people. But yeah, man, that's all I had. That's all I've got to say relating to these things, people. What else have we got? That was me done there. DG, a coach can't look that far, especially if you're Arteta. Got to take it 1 game at a time. Where did I say don't take it 1 game at a time? But everything you do now is plotted in. It's like if you've got an exam at the end of the year, every test you do now, practical or not, every revision session you go to, every sort of, every sort of performance review. I know my ABCs, but my times tables is a bit of a shaky one. Everything you do now is geared towards then. So yeah, you're right. You need to take it on a game by game basis. But that's even more reason. Every game is going to tell a bit of a picture going to January, and this is how you have to look at the table, whether you're looking to stay in the league, win the league, a top finish, a best place finish, whatever you're trying to do, people. So it isn't that. And many fans aren't looking at one game in a time, because if there was, you wouldn't be shouting that. You wouldn't have shouted we're going to get relegated at the start. You wouldn't be shouting that we're going to do top four, we're going to do this and that. There's an opportunity there. Ifs and buts are there, but it's down to these boys to apply themselves. Hit the like button if you haven't. I expect to win for every game except Liverpool. Big up yourself. Kemi has said, like you said, DG, Arsenal should do their best. If we place a strategy against Liverpool, we're going to go and get a point. We got to end this year well. Have to aim for more than just not losing badly at Anfield. Minimum aim is a draw now. We'll see what the depth of fight and commitment the team is. I mean, you should aim to win it, aim to apply yourselves, but you have to be a bit honest and respect the team. To a degree, you need to lose, saving a bit of face if that's going to be the case. And fundamentally, go to Liverpool with courage, man. For the first time, Arteta's had a settled first 11 since he became manager. Are you sure? And they'll grow together and know each other better on the pitch and ultimately become a better team. Well, I mean, that's a given, considering the long-termism with all the signings. I have to admit, I was never an Arteta fan, even as a player, but I have to give him credit now and have balance until the season ends. I was on to you, but if you're not doing the job, you deserve all the critics. Same way Arteta deserved to lose his job in November last year. Same way he deserves some praise now. In the same way, you can't be in life, you can't be vocal with condemning someone and silent with their praise. You've got to keep the same energy. Underrated player, maybe Lokonga. Nah, not for me. I like him a lot, but I want to see a bit more, if I'm honest with you. Arteta was making baffling decisions last year that truly baffled me. Trust. I'm loving the team spirit at the moment. Looks like the players are rocking for Arteta. Facts, DG. We have to wait and see at the end of the season how we progress. And this is why I always say, whenever as bad as we make out when we've lost, whenever as good as we think we are when we've won, you keep that balance. It should serve you well in life. We need to do a tenfold better in the final third. Appreciate the super chat. Didn't even see this. Arteta needs to keep the team in the top 6 position. Listen, it's going to fluctuate, bro. It's going to. What do you think of Konza, Laporte, and Evans' red card? I spoke about this on Twitch, and I don't understand it. I don't understand how Evans hasn't got a red card and how Laporte and Konza have got hooked. Now, I could see the angle for Konza's one, because he's last man, as harsh as it is. I didn't really understand the Laporte thing in real time. And yeah, it's one of them, man. What's your favourite club? You think I'm just talking about Arsenal for the sake of it, my guy? Man thinks I'm just here for an hour and 22 minutes just for bants. Appreciate the Polish ones tuned in. DJ, I woke up this morning to see Conte is going to Spurs. Spurs now are stuck with Oli. At least before I would have relied on Arsenal to give me comedy, but you guys are actually good. Shout out you, human being, man. Conte to Spurs, they are more ambitious than us. Let's hope it works. DG, would you rather beat Liverpool United? I know what I want. Bro, it's 2 big games. I'd rather win any one of them, bro. We don't travel well to Old Trafford. We do not travel well to Anfield, of course. Because of where Liverpool are in the table and where United are in the table, of course, it's more of a gases beating Liverpool, and it looks a bit madder and all these things. But, well, I just see either one. They're 2 grounds that we struggle to go to. They're 2 grounds that I can't convincingly say Arsenal are coming back with 3 points. The teams seem to be fighting for each other and have each other's back. Can't say that's always been the case. True, Gabriel and Ramsdale look to be the leaders in that area. Neither back down to anyone. Facts. Well, trust, man. Them days of Willian are gone. I've already offered my thoughts on Nuno, my guy. I've offered my thoughts on Nuno getting the sack, Conte getting the job, and obviously Emery's return. I offered them on Twitch. We'll be uploading that video soon. Have cut up the individual Conte clip from that. Just for you guys, though, again, I've put the timestamps in relation to Conte to Spurs, though, man. So shout out to you, Clement. Check what I've just posted, and you can obviously skip back on this live stream and do your thing. It's one of them. DG, you excited about the January market? Is it just me? Feels like people are ignoring how big it could be because of our current form. Listen, I listen. What Arsenal do and what actually happens are two different things. I have hope that there's a centre midfielder. I mean, if you don't bring in a centre mid, I think that will harm our season. So it's one of them ones, if I'm honest with you. Keep hitting the like button if you haven't already. 273 likes, people. We're still not at 300 though. Good push from everyone involved. We can get 300 before the end of this live stream. Again, people, I appreciate all the support you lot give me, especially on Monday morning. Shout out to my 9 to 5ers, everybody working, everyone working from home, whatever you're doing, if you're looking after the youths, whatever you're doing, innit? Appreciate you lot. I haven't got anything else to speak about, but I have 2 things here that I was just reading, and I thought, you know what, we might as well read them out. Let's go. Ramsdale speaks / Arsenal want Jovic now. Yeah, people, trust Jovic name getting thrown in again. Trust me, I hear you lot, people. I really do. Where is this is how mad the Jovic one is. I think I clipped it off. Jovic Arsenal again. This is why I love the live streams. There's a healthy amount of pressure to make sure actually I'm doing the right things. But even forgetting what I was on about now, that's Ramsdale's one. And Ramsdale just feels like an Arsenal fan living the dream. But right now, it's the honeymoon period. Saka's had it, Martinelli's had it, Tierney's had it, Aubameyang's had it, Laka's had it. Everybody loves you. There's going to come a time where people are questioning you, Ramsdale. And I think he's got the mentality to get through that. And it must be surreal. One of the best keepers, if not the best keeper that's ever kicked a ball in the Premier League. While his son is playing, he's tweeting what a save from you, and you're getting texts from David Seaman. And, man, forget Ramsdale moves like he's 30. Man's 23, At 23, I was just trying to get the line to ring. But anyways, Aaron Ramsdale admits texts from Arsenal's legend are surreal. Peter Schmeichel praises. Aaron Ramsdale says it was a special moment to be praised by Manchester United legend Peter Schmeichel for his heroics against Leicester. Obviously, he said it would, he called his save amazing and that. Nuno, you're gone, bro. There's no considering you're gone. But anyways, it's like someone hacked his Twitter. It's crazy and hard to explain. With Casper being at the other end and Peter tweeting it, it was a special moment for me to see that when I came into the dressing room. He said when asked if he looked up to Schmeichel as a youngster, I'll be totally honest. No, bro, man's not even doing the PR. We all knew about him. We all knew about him. I watched many highlights and saved real stuff on him. I wasn't much of a Manchester United fan when I was growing up and started keeping. I think he would have been retiring. He's 23, so he wouldn't have seen too much of him really. But what fan were you? We hear you as an Arsenal fan, but you need to come out and confirm this really. He's obviously spoke about David Seaman. He said, even just being at Arsenal and now having the connection with David Seaman, I've just got his number and get a text from him every now and again. It's surreal. Mad thing, innit? Like, must be a mad thing. Now, apparently, Liverpool have joined Arsenal in race for Real Madrid striker Luka Jovic, with Jurgen Klopp personally asking the Reds to make an offer for the Serbian international striker. He's yet to score this season after returning to the Spanish club from a loan spell. Apparently, he's requested by Jurgen Klopp. And you know what? He could be a good option for the way Liverpool play. I'd take him on ability, Liverpool have joined Arsenal in the race for Real Madrid striker Luka Jovic, according to reports. Obviously, he's had a torrid time since signing for 50 million. It ain't banged. Scrolling all the way down. According to this article, Klopp has requested that his club make an offer for Jovic in order to improve their attacking options. That same publication, apparently said that Arsenal are monitoring the situation of the Real Madrid striker with a view to line him up as Lacazette's long-term replacement. We know Lacazette's contract is winding down. But this is the same publication, forgive me if I'm wrong, people, that said we were going to swap Gareth Bale for Lacazette. So make of that what you will, people. He scored just two times during his first season at Real Madrid. So he's a striker that needs a bit of love and needs a home, and is a young player, probably not ready to make the grade. And the way Carlo Ancelotti speaks about Eden Hazard, I know Jovic has no chance, but yeah, man, that's where we're at in relation to Luka Jovic. It doesn't seem like there's much Arsenal transfer rumor stuff. Maybe because we're winning, so there's no nonsense. I've seen so many publications remix the same Saliba story. And Leicester, no Arsenal. Arsenal. Let me type in Arsenal transfer stuff, man. And I mean, if you watched our in the Lyon game, he's playing wavy. You know, Vlahovic scored a hat trick. I watched that game. You know, even Torreira was playing. He scored a hat trick. Vlahovic against Spezia and stuff. I can't say their name. Spezia, one of them teams there. You know, Isaac scored as well. Yesterday in a big game for Sociedad. I swear they're joint top of the table. So it's mad. And obviously on the I know you've all seen the viral clips of Ramsdale, giving it back to the fans. He said, I just thought I'd go along with it. I've missed it over the course of COVID. I think it makes me play better. It makes me prove a point. It helps me prove someone wrong. It raises my concentration levels. If I'm giving a bit to them and I make a mistake, I know I'm going to get absolutely slaughtered. I can't let anything in if I'm giving a bit of banter. That's true. You can't chat shit if you're going to do nonsense, really and truly. That's true. Very true. Which is that. So yeah, man, shout out Ramsdale, man. Can't have too much Ramsdale propaganda if I'm honest with you. But yeah, that's where our keeper is concerned. Jovic can grow to be a treat, but with Eddie. DJ, if Conte fails at Tottenham, no top manager will want to go there in the near future. All the pressure is on him and Levy. Rather have him there than United. Shit will always be ish no matter what. Facts. Jovic did great at Frankfurt, but let's be real, Caustic put it on a plate half the time. Can't disagree with that. But I think he's good though, man. Jovic is holding bench at Real Madrid since Benzema is on form right now. To be fair, I think even if Benzema's form was shaky, you know, I think he'd be in trouble. I'd say Ramsdale's focus and desire to be England's number one will keep him playing at a high level and play through any potential down patches. Cannot underestimate that drive to achieve his goals. Exactly, and that's why I like him, because he's seen that things aren't pretty. You know, he's been through with respect to Sheffield United and AFC Wimbledon. Even though Arsenal are not doing bits, I'm sure our Arsenal players live a very pampered life. You know, again, probably the seats that you see behind me, them things there are probably heated. I'm sure being at Wimbledon, he's probably been in changing rooms half the size, you know. When you see football at its real level, how cutthroat things can be, you're serious with it. And that's what I like with Ramsdale. That's all I wanted. I don't think Ramsdale's the best in the world and stuff, but I like him because he's got a growth mentality. He wants to win games. He just wants to be serious. There's competencies. Like, I just get the drive thing with him. You know, you've got the number one, keep it happening, because the only way is down. If not Leno, there has to be another keeper. You know, in the same way Saka is our number 7, Smith Rowe's the 10, you're Arsenal's number 1. There should always be a target on your back, you know, especially when you play in what I describe as the spine of the team in goal. You know, it's a bit different with Smith Rowe and Saka, but, you know, goalie, centre half, centre mid, you should always be looking to improve the spine of your squad. So again, play better, you know. A number 10 and the 7 where Smith Rowe and Saka are concerned, as you know, these are the showman numbers. These are what people are buying tickets for beyond everything. These are your match winners and stuff like that. And they're going to have to cope with that pressure, because we should always be looking for people that can improve that. The only way is down. You don't get, unless you go for it to a bigger club. At Arsenal, you can't reach another pinnacle than wearing a number 7, a number 10, you know, the number 1. Bro, you're not getting any, you get it. So we need to see 1-2 bits of improvement and the same drive, which I'm sure all of these players mentioned will have, man. So no worries where that's concerned. Back line, first 5 names on team sheet when fit. Facts. He's a guy you want in the trenches. As we used to say, if you was in a pub or a bar or a club and you got in a sticky situation, you wouldn't want a lot of these Arsenal players with you. Ramsdale's someone you'd want. He's making sure no one glasses you or anything. DG, my big question today is, will you take top 6 or a trophy as success for Arsenal this season? Well, yeah, if you get back into the Europa League or you bring a silverware, 2 things that eluded us last year, it is a bit of a success. But at the same time, for me, crucially more than anything, is how we're going about things, is how we're playing, is how we're winning. 284 likes, people. We are flirting with 300. I think we'll get that before I go to sleep today, so it's all good. What else is there in relation to Arsenal stuff? I don't quite think there is anything. Slow news day where Arsenal's concerned. I guess this is the privilege of only playing once a week, I guess. Crazy. I think Sessegnon could get a shout from Conte. Well, the thing with Sessegnon is, what is he, bro? I've seen you still At Fulham, you look like a 10 at times. You was playing 10, you know, you done the 10 thing, left wing, left back. What is he? With respect to Session, because I like him, genuinely forgot my man was a baller. And he was meant to be the next up before the Greenwoods and the Smith Rowes and the Fodens and all these guys. I'm not saying that they couldn't be better than him, but you get it. This was someone that was touching first team 15, 16 years of age, and he's still 21. You can do a lot, but you're nowhere near that Spurs team, and especially when they're shit as well, with respect. No news because we won. Facts, man. Absolute facts. I hope Conte doesn't work at Spurs, but yeah, man, I think it might. Just 9 more likes until we've hit 300, folks. What's going on in the world of football? Conte, please fail them talks, man. Please fail them talks. You know you don't want to do the talk, them, man. Chelsea just sack Thomas Tuchel and bring my man back, man. Afternoon, DG. Great weekend. Big 3 points. Best performance of the season. Probably. We don't have the biggest case study, but it's between them, Spurs, and Villa now. I liked the way we started against Villa. I loved the way we played in that first half. 3 goals in the first half against Spurs. I liked our start and the way we moved against Leicester. So I think it's between all of them. I might give it the Leicester one because we kept a clean sheet and Leicester probably performed the best in comparison to what Villa could do or Spurs could do. Pardon me. So I'd say that. But yeah, there's not a big test there, man. Levy will destroy Spurs. His ego is out of control. Hope so. To be fair, Cess was the only one that came from a relegation. Look what happened to Brewster when he downgrades. To be fair, when did Brian Brewster's been at Spurs a couple of years, to be fair with you. And then he went to Hoffenheim. He's not pulled up any trees. Saying that, did he not score for Jose Mourinho against Bayern Munich once upon a time? I just think his problem is a lot of what these new ballers have is they can play everywhere. But what are you? Are you a 10 able to play left back and left wing? Are you a left wing able to do the other thing? Or what is it? I just think a lot of these ballers, you see it all the time, even the people that are the young players that are at the higher echelons of the game right now. It's like everyone can play everywhere, but what are you? And I think that's where it is with Sessegnon. It's like, what are you? To me, anyways, like, what are you? I like him, but it's like, what are you? Leicester was away from home. Yeah, you could give it that. Could give it that. I just don't see Conte going to Spurs. He rejected them before because Levy couldn't offer him what he wanted. What could Levy possibly offer now that changes his mind? I don't know, but maybe assurances in the transfer market, maybe assurances in terms of the project. Maybe it's the fact that Patrici is in. I don't know if he was there when the talks initially started. It's a completely different, rightly or wrongly. But didn't Arteta, when Emery came in, we spoke with Arteta. Maybe it didn't happen because he felt the job was too big, or maybe it was a too big of a radical one to jump from Wenger to a novice in Arteta. But Arteta 1 year rejected it and then accepted it the other year. So I know Conte and Arteta, in terms of this football thing, there's no comparison. But something's got to have changed there, really. Really, man. Right now, again, it's just for me. You give him. For me, it's just a case of if they sign players of the same standard of Romero and the proper, like even if they found the Tomiyasu from Italy, if they do them signings there, then I'm scared of Spurs. If Spurs keep doing nonsense, then I think we're all right. We're all right. We're all right. If that makes sense. But yeah, on that note, though, people, I'm gonna get out of here. I don't want to hang around like a bad smell. I'm gonna finish this one up. I'm gonna try and get some other videos out for you in the meantime. Make sure you've set up another tab and you've set your reminders. I'll be live at 4 p.m. on YouTube as well, folks. It's been a fantastic live stream. We've hit 300 likes. I didn't say it, but I said I would only finish this when we hit 300 likes. So if you have hit that like button, God bless you. Hopefully, wishing you that you win the lottery, you stay in good health, and obviously, that the DG Nation keeps growing. And I'm thanking you lot, because again, without them engagement levels there, we're a mess, people, really. So I appreciate everyone who's hit that like button. You lot drive this for what it is, people. You lot are the reason we're going to have positive engagement levels and all of these sort of things. What have you said? 4 p.m. Twitch. And then tomorrow, I'm going to be live on Twitch at 10 a.m. because we got DG podcast stuff to be doing. And then obviously around 5, I'll be live for the first Champions League game. Then we're coming over back here to YouTube for the 8 p.m. games. We do the same thing on Wednesday. We'll be doing the same things on Saturday, because that's the Manchester derby. We play on Sunday. Not sure if I'm going to do anything in relation to the Europa League, so I haven't said anything, but we might see what's going on there. Yeah, man. It is what it is where that's concerned. So yeah, I'm gonna love and leave you lot. If you haven't hit the like button, shame on you. You know, please hit the like button. And on that note, stay safe, stay blessed. Go and aggressively attack this week and attack today. It's Monday. Go and smash it, people. And whatever's left of your day, evening, morning, or night. Again, wishing you lot positive health. Again, I appreciate everything you lot do day in, day out for me. But on that note, love and leave you. Gonna go get some lunch. I'll see you soon, people. God bless. I'm out.
Spurs you always use that active red flag defenders. I think it's like